The Richest NFL Owners. Hey guys, welcome back to Film Pros. In this video, we'll break down the 10 richest owners in the NFL based on their net worth. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Janice McNair. The owner of the Houston Texans makes it at 10th spot with a net worth of nearly $4 billion. Janice McNair took over as an active owner when her husband Robert McNair passed away in 2018. Robert McNair worked as an advertising salesman before finally becoming an entrepreneur of an energy company and power plant operator that they eventually sold for $1.5 billion. The McNairs immediately invested that money wisely by paying the NFL $700 million for an expansion franchise in Houston in 1999. The Texans are now worth about $3.7 billion. Stephen Bisciotti. Next comes Stephen Bisciotti, owner of the Baltimore Ravens with a net worth of $4.6 billion. Bisciotti was just 23 years old when he became founder of a staffing company in Maryland. That company eventually became the largest private staffing firm in the country with annual revenue exceeding $12 billion. He became a part owner of the Ravens in the year 2000 by paying $600 million. 4 years later, he became a full-time owner, and the franchise is now valued at about $3.4 billion. Terry Pegula. Up next, we have Terry Pegula, owner of the Buffalo Bills with a net worth of $5.1 billion. Pegula made his money in the natural gas business by building a multi-billion-dollar empire. He made his money through the practice of fracking, which can be a very controversial way to make money. Pegula sold his company to Royal Dutch Shell for $4.7 billion in the year 2010. He then took that money and invested it in the purchase of the Buffalo Sabres in 2011 and then Buffalo Bills in 2014 for $1.4 billion. He and his wife Kim invested large parts of their money into Buffalo sports and are benefiting tremendously from their investments. Arthur Blank. The owner of the Atlanta Falcons today has a net worth of $6.1 billion. Although Blanks is the co-founder of the Home Depot franchise, he now owns two teams in Atlanta, Georgia, the Falcons and Atlanta United, the Major League Soccer team. Blank bought the Falcons for $545 million in 2002, and the franchise is now valued at $2.7 billion, according to Forbes. Robert Kraft. Up next, we have Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots. Kraft has a net worth of $6.6 billion. Robert Kraft bought the Patriots in 1994 for $172 million. The Patriots are now worth approximately $4.1 billion. That has a lot to do with their dynasty room, with two of the best to have done it in Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Robert Kraft started working for his father-in-law's packaging company and later branched out to create his own business called International Forest Products. Kraft then bought his father-in-law's company and combined the two, thus building one of the largest packaging suppliers in the world. Kraft's NFL team has been 6 times champions in the NFL, and Kraft himself has a net worth of over $6 billion according to Forbes. Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross is the owner of the Miami Dolphins with a net worth of $7.2 billion. Ross is an 81-year-old real estate builder and humanitarian. He is also a former tax attorney who created his own private real estate business in the 1970s called Related Companies. He took a $10,000 loan from his mother that turned into a business valued at around $60 billion. Ross is also passionate about education and has made generous contributions to the University of Michigan by contributing $378 million towards the school. Ross's company has a massive development projects like Hudson Yard and Time Warner Center in New York City. In addition, Ross also has stakes in SoulCycle and Equinox. Shahid Khan. Shahid Khan is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and has a net worth of $7.8 billion. Khan became the first ethnic minority owner of an NFL team after he bought the Jaguars in 2011 for $760 million. He was born in Pakistan and moved to the United States when he was a teenager. He had a tough time and started earning $1.20 as a dishwasher to help cover his tuition costs while attending the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. He later got a job as an engineer at the auto parts manufacturer Flex-N-Gate. He later decided to branch off and create his own business selling lightweight car bumpers. In 1980, he bought Flex-N-Gate and merged it with his own company, Bumper Works. The company, as of 2018, sees billions in total annual revenue. Stan Kroenke. Next, we have the owner of the Los Angeles Rams with a net worth of $8.3 billion. Stan is a man responsible for bringing the NFL back to Los Angeles for the first time since 1995. Kroenke also has an extensive portfolio of sports teams such as Arsenal Football Club from the UK, NHL's Colorado Avalanche, and NBA team Denver Nuggets. Stan is a leading real estate developer as well as the husband of Ann Walton, who inherited all of her money from Walmart. Jerry Jones. Next, we have Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys and a net worth of $8.7 billion. Jerry Jones is one of the only owners in the NFL who is also the active general manager of the team. He's been calling the shots for the Cowboys since he bought them in 1989 for $140 million. Jones has won a total of 5 Super Bowls since he bought them and named the franchise the Dallas Cowboys. The current value of the Cowboys is the most by any sports team in the world, estimated about $5.5 billion according to Forbes. David Tepper. We have David Tepper, owner of the Carolina Panthers, at number 1 with a net worth of $12 billion. David Tepper is the wealthiest owner in the NFL by a huge margin. He's an American businessman and humanitarian. In 2012, he received his first paycheck for $2.2 billion, which turned out to be the highest salary offered to a hedge fund manager in the United States. He continued to grow his global hedge fund, which managed approximately $14 billion. Tepper is looking to bring the Carolina Panthers back to the Super Bowl after his trip to Super Bowl 50 and losing to the Denver Broncos. That's all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.